If nothing,
Hey.
looks cool.
Yeah. Does look cool. What's going on, everybody? Today is Friday, November 3rd, 2017. Thank you for tuning in and logging on, and welcome to Truth It in the AM. It is your boy Truth It, here to address any and all things when it's time to, and it's time to. Here with the one and the only, too real to be phony. Trooper Joe is in the building.
Yay, people. Oh, I like that first yay.
This is not Arsenio Hall, Troop.
Yeah.
We don't do the roofs anymore.
How you guys doing? Thank you for that.
All right, Troop, how are you doing?
I'm doing fine. A little tired, but I'm doing fine. Friday, I always get tired on Friday.
Yeah.
I always get tired.
Yeah, I was yawning a lot this morning, but that's because my sugar's low. I had the pop in a cough drop that had some sugar in it. Now I'm ready to go.
Get low sugar.
Yep, low sugar. Sometimes it gets really low, Troop. When you wake up in the morning and take all your medication because you're a diabetic, it brings your sugar down low because doctors, they prescribe it like that because they think you're going to eat a big breakfast. Because you're supposed to eat a big breakfast.
Why?
Because if you eat a big dinner, you don't go throughout the day to burn all that stuff off. You're supposed to eat most in the morning, because then you go through the whole day burning it off. So you're supposed to eat more for breakfast than you do in any other meal. You're supposed to eat your lightest meal for dinner, but in America, we do everything backwards. So we eat the most for dinner and nothing for any other time.
I think the biggest meal, but we work a lot and everything, should be lunch.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have an easy breakfast, an easy dinner, and a lunch, because you're going to be snacking throughout the day, and after dinner, supper, whatever you want to call it, probably have a bag of chips, one of them great chips.
Yep.
Chips or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So I think for me anyway, this is what I believe would be the most important meal, depending upon what you want to do with your body, would be the one in lunch, because you got all day to burn off stuff. You got you have the resupply from the daytime.
Right.
But I know, eat a big breakfast, go to work, have a break. So first you got to get to work, and then you eat when you get to work, have a donut, and then you have a break. At least this is what I remember working at the engineering. And then you get your break, then you get your lunch, then you get another break. Then then most of the guys from engineering, they go to the bar to wash all that down.
Yep. Well, I know there's something that you put me onto. First thing you put me onto is black coffee. Now, I can't drink the black coffee with no sugar. I still have not graduated to. I still need sugar in my black coffee. I can't just drink it alone like that. But the other thing you put me onto is snacking on popcorn. I have microwave popcorn all over my house now. Whenever I feel like the need to eat, and I know that I don't need to eat anything heavy, I just say, hey, let me warm myself a bag of popcorn.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it's a bag of popcorn. Ain't really nothing in it.
Right. Just corn, and air.
Yeah.
So.
And people eat two ways that they eat. One, that you eat, first thing you eat is through your nose.
Mm-hmm.
By that, you smell what you eat. Oh, everybody says it. Oh, that smells good.
Mm-hmm.
And then you want it. So the first thing is kind of a nasal attraction to eating, and then the second thing you eat is by habit.
Yep.
And habit not only at times, but habit of the things that you eat.
Right.
Yeah. That's what I see eating anyway.
Yep. So we got a lot of stuff we need to talk about today. We need to talk about Hollywood men. And now that they're being exposed, and this has been going on for years and years.
Forever.
In Tinseltown.
Yeah.
Men sexually assaulting, or men thinking that they can sexually harass women and get away with anything due to their star power.
Mm-hmm.
Also, we're going to be talking about the iPhone X, the iPhone that costs almost as much as a car these days.
Really?
You can buy a cheap car for the same price you can buy an iPhone X now.
Yeah, imagine that.
Yep.
I never thought of that.
Yep, you can. And we're going to be talking about Michael Gaffney.
Big Mike.
The man who, quote unquote, dropped out of the race. I dropped out. Lying behind. Now it changed for I've dropped out because I have other endeavors too. If I get elected, I'm going to continue to be on the city council and continue to be a cancer to the other members of the city council. The lone Republican is not ousted yet.
And doesn't want to take any money.
I don't believe it. Right. I'll believe it. I believe it just as much as I believe that he said he's dropping out.
Yeah. Better take some money.
Yep. He's not going to drop out.
Nah.
He's going to take that money too.
Better take that money.
I would take the money if I'm working for the city, especially a city like Worcester, which requires a lot of thought, a lot of challenges. Yeah, he should get paid his money.
And it's accountability.
Yep.
Like, no, you're getting paid to do this here. If he's not getting paid, he said, well, I'm not getting paid. I'm doing this out the kindness of my heart. So it's like, you don't have to work and make yourself look as though that you're doing something really generous to the people of Worcester.
Yep.
No, you get paid and then you got to work for that money.
Oh, and I just saw at my favorite city, Chicago, 3 shot, 1 dead after shooting at Chicago Starbucks. How do you kill someone at a Starbucks, Troop? It's a coffee house. You drink coffee. How could you be angry at Starbucks?
Well, maybe if I was to make it into something that really off the wall and everything, because Starbucks logo and stuff is the headpiece from the what's the name of that ship? The Pequot from Moby Dick.
Okay.
So maybe you like white whales or something like that. You think Starbuck himself is a character from Moby Dick. So maybe it has something to do with Herman Melville's Moby Dick.
So why don't you marry a white whale then? I know some men who's married some white whales. Let me stop before I get in trouble. Yeah, so another shooting at Chicago. 1 dead, 3 shot, which whenever that happens, it's time for me to go into my little Google Chrome and find my Chicago statistics. Let's see what the death toll is in Chicago now. As of November 2nd, 2017, yesterday, shot and killed 551. Shot and wounded 2,616. Total shot 3,167 people have been shot in Chicago this year.
That's crazy.
That is insane, Troop.
Because it's not all of Chicago.
Nope, it's just 2 parts.
Yeah.
The south side and the lower west side, I believe it is. 2 or 3 parts of Chicago where the crime is really, really bad.
So it's like, you don't really have to go and do a lot of research to find out what the problem is because it's so isolated.
Yep. It's the poverty.
Of course it's the poverty.
Yep.
There's a lot to go with poverty, though. There's many different things that revolve around poverty.
Crime.
Yeah.
Robberies.
That's it. Population explosion.
Yep.
All kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
Stone.
Poor Chicago. Blow it up.
Yeah.
Bomb. I did say bomb Chicago and start from scratch. Listen.
No.
I remember in the cartoon Transformers in the 80s. I never understood it until Chicago. Megatron, the villain in the Transformers cartoon, always wanted to destroy the entire Earth and start from scratch.
Hey.
And Optimus Prime was like, there's good people. And he said, it doesn't matter. We need to start from scratch. It's too much bad here. And now it all makes sense.
Yeah, we don't think like that, but I have to give Trump's kudos a little bit for the opioid thing like that, because he does think like that. Trump's plan for opioid thing is like, all right, all you people that are addicted and everything, I hope that you get off. Gotta have to stop it at the source down here.
Right.
Before it starts.
Trump. Gotta give kudos to Trump. I gave kudos to Trump yesterday, Troop, on the show. Yeah. I gave kudos to Trump because he wanted the death penalty for this Muslim terrorist who just killed 8 people with his truck on the bike trail.
Yeah.
I don't understand why we're going to have to give this man his day in court. He's bragging about it to investigators. He wants to bring an ISIS flag into the courtroom with him. He's already pleading guilty to the whole thing. What do we need all this time and all these kill him?
Yeah, we don't need it, but our justice system has to be fair and balanced like that for everyone. But it's not a long process now.
Right.
You
well,
know, it's not. The only people that could make this a long process would be whoever his lawyers are trying to make a name for themselves.
Right.
You know, other than that, there's nothing. There's nothing to go to court about. There's nothing to judge. He's confessing. And that's it. Okay, you confess. Kill him.
Stone him.
Stone.
Should be stoned. I need to get a stone button. I have the applause button. I need to get a stone button that just says stone him, stone him. Whenever I push it.
Yep. In the back.
Right. Just stone the man. All right, so let's just get right into it. Michael Gaffney. Michael Gaffney, the man who a couple of weeks ago announced that he and his wife Corinne Gaffney were dropping out of the at-large city council race and District 4 city council race, respectively.
Yeah.
And now he's blasting Worcester Democrats for fake endorsements, and his tune has changed completely. I read it on Twitter last night, and I was thinking that it must have been an old tweet, because I said, oh no, he dropped out, it's old. Then I went on Facebook and saw the news article on it.
Yeah.
More than 2 weeks ago, Councilor at Large Michael T. Gaffney and his wife, Corinne, dropped an October surprise on his municipal election season when they announced they had withdrawn their candidacies for city council. And everybody applauded. Everybody celebrated. It was like Christmas came early for a lot of people in Worcester. With Tuesday's municipal election now just a few days away, the Gaffneys now has dropped a November surprise, announcing that if either is elected, they will in fact serve out their term to the best of our ability. In a press release issued Thursday night, Mr. Gaffney said he was outraged by a mailer sent out this week by the Worcester Democratic City Committee on behalf of several city council candidates. He contends the mailer made it appear that he and his wife were endorsing those candidates. I saw the mailer.
I didn't see it.
It did not have the Gaffney's name on it at all. I don't understand how it seemed like they were endorsing the Democrats, the other candidates on the city council. His mailing was sent out on behalf of Mayor Joseph Petty, Councilor at Large Mo Bergman, Councilor at Large Christian King, Councilor at Large Kathleen Toomey, Benjamin R. Strait, an at-large council candidate, Sean Rose, a District 1 council candidate, District 2 councilor, Candy Merrill Carlson, District 3 councilor, George Russell, District 4 councilor, Sarai Rivera. Hi. And Matthew Wally, a candidate for the District 5 council seat. All have been endorsed by the Democratic City Committee. The mailing also included part of a statement from the Gaffneys that was taken from the press release they issued last month when they announced their withdrawal from the city council races. Part of their statement was included in the mailing and was attributed to them, read, "Therefore, we have made the decision to withdraw from our respective campaigns. It is our understanding that our names will remain on the ballot, but as we cannot fulfill the obligations of the office, it would not be prudent to case a vote for either of us." How does that sound like an endorsement for the Democrats?
I don't know.
It doesn't sound like an endorsement at all.
It sounds like Worcester, you're not as important as you once were. So I know if you vote for me and I get elected and everything, I'll give you something. But I have to move on because it's not that important for me in Worcester anymore. That's what it sounds like to me.
Right.
So I quit. But you don't like me.
Here it is. Beneath that statement that I just read, and the Gaffney's names are the words, "We ask that your vote for these candidates," and the names of those candidates are listed below that. There it is. So right beneath where the Gaffney said they were withdrawing, right under it had writing, even though it wasn't meant to be attributed to them, It is written right under their statement. We ask that your vote for these candidates. We ask that you vote for these candidates. Wow. Okay, so it does seem like it's. I understand now how it's a little misleading. How it can look like.
But it's irrelevant because there's no party affiliations on the local level. It's supposed to be politics for the local people.
But this on this one, they are endorsed by the Democratic committee.
Okay.
So the Democratic committee paid for the flyer or paid for the letter or the brochure or whatever. They are the ones that are. It's meant to show that the Democratic National Committee are backing the slate.
Yeah,
There goes that word again.
But yeah, again though, I don't see the problem myself there, Gaffney. You know, it actually I could see this enhancing your position as a true politician on a local level. Because you're the only Republican and you dropped out.
Right.
But it's about the people of Worcester and the people that all these people are going to represent. Everybody else was a Democrat when they got elected. It didn't matter. But you have privy to information and been working with people in this political arena for a while. So you know these people.
Right.
So your endorsement is for the people, not for the party. Even though the Democratic Party is saying that they're doing something. The politics of, like I said, the politics of local government isn't party affiliated. It's for the people.
Yeah.
You know, nobody'd even know you were a Republican if you didn't tell them.
Right.
It doesn't matter.
Correct. This is true.
Shut up.
I just think that it is kind of underhanded.
It is kind of underhanded, but that's the game. You know the game. And I call it a game, too, because that's what it's turned into. It's a game.
And when you have something underhanded and Joe Petty's name is attached to it, I have to believe it.
I think Joe Petty, the more this politics is going, the more I'm believing that Joe Petty is not as serious about helping people as he wants everybody to believe. I'm not buying it. I think he's well placed within the city. The city, I don't even know what you call it, but the city representation of civil rights kind of actions and all kinds of nice little touchy-feely things that go on in the city. I think he's well placed in there, and he got black people who love him, he got white people who love him, and all these other people love him because he's from the city. He uses his city boy connection like that. But is his work and everything for the people of the city? No. It's for the infrastructure of the city, which, okay, that's fine, you know, because you're the mayor, it should be for the infrastructure, but you're doing it at the expense of the people of the city. And that's the part I have a problem with.
Well, Gaffney's statement on the letter is, this is a disgusting lie being perpetrated against the voters of Worcester and a new low by those involved, Mr. Gaffney said Thursday night. We have not endorsed any of the involved perpetrators. Their reprehensible behavior as to fake an endorsement speaks to a complete lack of moral character. Be advised. Should the good people of Worcester choose to elect either of us, we will serve out our term to the best of our ability as we refuse to let this crew of despicable liars engage in this type of behavior. Now, isn't this what they just wrote about the One Worcester Pledge about speaking against?
Yeah.
Despicable liars and deplorable people and involved perpetrators. Look at the words he uses to describe his people that help run the city alongside him.
Yeah, and you gotta run the city, man.
Right.
Like I said, it ain't Republican, Democrat. It's your city council. You know, you're supposed to represent the people of the city, make this city better. Reprehensible, despicable, all these things. These are what do you watch cartoons all day?
It's despicable.
Adjectives, you know?
It's despicable. I don't know, or I don't necessarily think that everything Michael Gaffney does is bad.
I don't either.
I think he has good intentions on a lot of things. I believe that he thinks he's always doing the right thing. My issue is he has to be aware that he makes it a toxic work environment.
He does.
If I were a city council member, I would hate Tuesdays when I'd have to go and sit around him for hours during the city council meeting. It's just he makes that unacceptable.
I don't know, if I was a city councilor, I would have to. I would want to know everybody's agenda on who's a city councilor alongside me, because everybody has the same equal vote and everything. And if somebody like Gaffney, I know the if I was there, I know the Gaffneys were Republican. Mm-hmm. I know that Gaffney would be more inclined to be looking at things from a different lens than I would be as a Democrat,
right,
or somebody as an independent. So I would have to ask him what his positions are, what his thoughts are, what's his personal kind of thing. I would want to know where he stands as a Republican.
Yep.
If that's what the issue calls for. But only for the things that are going to help the people. Mm-hmm. Not for bringing in big industry from across the pond over there.
Yeah, he's against that.
Yeah, I mean, and those all speak to good things,
Yep.
I would want to know, what's the plan? I want to know the plan of everybody. How are we going to help the people of Worcester? This is what I would want to know. How are we going to make the Worcester better for the people in there? What's your ideas as a Republican? Because they would be different than the ideas of a Democrat. So, they would all work together like that. But little word name calling and all this throwing sand in people's faces and stuff, that's childish little kid actions. And these people, when they get elected for office, you should put away those childish things. Mm-hmm. I mean, if you want to play childish games at home with your loved one, go ahead. But if you're going to be a public servant, be the public servant. You need to know exactly what the public wants that you're serving. And you got to realize you're a public servant. That's what you are. You're not a public king.
Okay.
Or potentate.
However, they are right about this. A texter says, the gaffer is such a Donald Trump wannabe. He wants to turn the Worcester City Council into a reality show. Sad.
Yeah, I agree with that.
He wants to be Donald Trump.
I don't think he wants to be Donald Trump. I don't think the man has that much confidence in himself to be wanting to be Donald Trump. I don't think it exists in Gaffney. I find Gaffney not to have all that much confidence in himself.
I think Gaffney is overconfident. He stands up against the whole city council every time he gets a chance to. He's the one that stands alone. He always going against the grain. He's always going against other people.
Yeah, that's a sign of insecurity for a lot of reasons too. Somebody who's always going against. But then when the fire came over the side of the pan, he quit.
Yep.
This is what I'm kind of basing it on. Anybody can make noise as long as they're not feeling as though they're going to get punched in the face. Mm-hmm. This is the bottom line on anything. My old grandfather told me that. A long time ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that I find that to be true. So you can stand up against things and make noises in the form of making noises. If you're standing up against things and you're making logical, thought out oppositions to these issues and stuff like that, trying to bring about a change in somebody's way of thinking, that's something different. Mm-hmm. That's confidence. Because you did the work. You said, my idea is based upon something that's really tangible and this is how it flows. But to make noises and call names and stuff, that's what little kids do until they get punched in the mouth and run home to mommy and daddy crying and stuff.
That's also what Donald Trump does. Yeah. Name calls and makes noises.
Yeah, but Donald Trump name calls and make noises, and if you don't like it, you're gone. Donald Trump has the power to do these things.
Right.
And he does not care if you call him names.
Right.
Obviously, he does. He runs away. Trump doesn't run away. He can't be Trump. He's
Right.
from my taste, he's way too insecure within himself to be a real effective type of leader and stuff. He can be a good politician, but he can't be the leader. He's not mayor material. We had a real active mayor, he doesn't have the confidence.
Nope.
At least that's what I think anyway.
Yeah, another writer says, how shocking, Telegram and Gazette, and in parentheses, fake news, writing a negative article about Mr. Gaffney. This isn't the first and probably isn't the last. Why don't you write about the corruption in Worcester from the city manager to the mayor? I'm sure you could write a lengthy article on many topics with those two.
Yeah, I believe you can with those two. I believe that you can the top of this thing really stinks because the head of this thing the brain isn't in those two.
Mm-hmm.
Not the whole brain. There's a whole bunch of ghostly people out here that's controlling things.
Yep.
You know, and that's the way city politics works.
Yep. That is.
And it's not good, and it's a shame. But Gaffney, please, you have a child you're trying to play in a big kids field and stuff. And what is this thing? I won't take any pay. Of course, you need to take pay. You need to be held accountable for your actions out there. And the way we hold people accountable in this country of capitalist means is I am paying you, therefore you work. You know. And if you're not getting paid, you say, hey, you ain't paying me. Yeah, really? No. If you get elected, you take the money because you need to be held accountable. Without that, there's no way to hold those feet to the fire so that you're going to do something for the people. Whatever small thing that might be. I don't know what it might be, but,
So, if Mr. Gaffney should finish among the top 6 in the at-large council race, however, it means that one of the current council members could, in fact, be out.
Yeah.
Mrs. Gaffney is running against Mr. Sarai Rivera for the District 4 City Council seat. She has no chance of winning.
No,
zero chance.
Zero chance of beating Sarai in her house.
However, Michael Gaffney has no chance of losing.
Yeah, he has really no chance of losing.
He was the number 1 vote getter for the city council last term.
Yeah.
He's not going to be the number 7 vote. People are going to vote with him. The second that he said he was still going to run, people are going to go out and vote for him.
I don't know who will be displaced off the thing. Whether one of the people I think that might be displaced would be Christian King.
Yep, could be.
I think Christian, but then again, I wouldn't feel bad for Christian King because he took softball type of things. It's like you didn't do anything for the city.
Mm-hmm.
Being an advocate or one of the advocates for what is it? Higher pay for people, the minimum wage type of thing, without researching the whole thing. I mean, it sounded good, but it's like, okay.
Yep.
It's okay. That's really something that everybody in the whole country was doing. It was a softball, a big balloon ball, and even that.
Okay.
So I can see where Christian King could be had because of his real inactivity. That he could lose his seat.
It could happen. It's possible. So, moving on from Gaffney. If in a perfect world, I wouldn't vote for Gaffney, even if I was one of his supporters. You put a bad taste in my mouth when you said you had more important things to do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then now all of a sudden I'm supposed to vote for you because you said, oh, I have more important things to do, but I'll finish out my term. No, if you're not in my best interest 100% to represent the city, then why should I vote for you?
That's it. I need somebody, because that's what politics are about, people. You putting people in there to represent your issues.
Yep.
And it doesn't work that you put them in there and then you give them a list of your issues. No. You let them know these are the issues, and then you follow the people so that you see who's got your back.
Yep.
you're not doing that. This city wants to say, well, I know this one, and I know this person who knows this one and knows this one, and they say this is a good person and everything. But is it in your interest? You don't know. So it's like you're not really using the powers that God gave you to be able to think clearly and make decisions based upon what you want.
Mm-hmm.
It takes a couple of minutes, I guess, to look up, well, this person's for this, and this is exactly what I want in there for that.
Right.
That's what you want. If you ain't for that, you can't say later on, well, this is what the Democrats are doing right now with Trump.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, Trump ain't never been a Democrat. But the Democrats are still saying, well, this is how it should be for civil rights and all these things like that. And Trump's saying, civil rights, what's that?
Right.
You don't even know what it is.
Well, on Tuesday, Voice of the Voiceless Tuesday,
Voiceless.
We'll have a whole show on everybody who's running.
And they can pop on in from 12 to 1 on Voice of the Voiceless and just say hi. I know they'll be busy at the polls, but you can pop on in there and shout your voice out to the whole city of Worcester.
Yep. Make sure you stop. You can stop by, say hi, give your opinion on who you're voting for.
Yeah.
Anything you want.
Just a quick little cameo and then go about your day trying to get elected. You can do that. Doors open, folks.
Yep.
The doors open. And people, you too can pop on by and tell the politicians what you expect from them if you vote for them, and then go vote.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, Troop,
Who gives stones out to?
Yes. If you want to stone someone, feel free. I have some good news, Troop.
Thank you. What's some good news?
You're going to be excited about this.
I'm excited.
I'm excited.
You're excited about
I'm excited about this news right here. Yes,
news.
Good. We needed some good news.
Yeah, we do.
So much bad news going on. Let me give you some good news.
It's going to be nice.
Yes, this news right here that I'm about to read, great news.
Okay.
Worcester police arrest teens reportedly swerving in parking lots.
In parking lots?
Parking garages.
In parking lots. What's...
Yes. Police investigating reports of bicyclists swerving in the parking lot. And by swerving, we mean when the car's coming towards you, you come full speed towards the car and at the last second swerve out of the way. That's what they mean when they say swerving. In the Pearl Elm Municipal Parking Garage Wednesday evening, and arrested 2 teens riding OFO bicycles. Are the OFO bicycles the Japanese bicycles?
Chinese.
Chinese bicycles. Okay. Police were called to the garage at 20 Pearl Street at 7:15 p.m. to investigate reports that 2 bicyclists wearing masks were harassing motorists as they tried to drive out through the exit. The bicyclists were said to be riding directly towards cars and swerving at the last second to avoid a collision. On the top floor, police found 2 boys, ages 13 and 15, riding OFO bicycles. The bikes are part of the Dockless Bike Rental Program. The 15-year-old was holding a white mask and carrying a double-edged knife in a backpack he was wearing, police said. Police said the youths were unable to give a good reason why they were in the garage.
That's why they got arrested.
Yep, both were charged with trespassing. And the 15-year-old was charged with carrying a dangerous weapon.
Yeah.
The boys told police they had found the bicycles on the street and did not pay for them. The bicycles were taken to the police station until an OFO representative could retrieve them. Troop, are you not happy about this story?
Actually, a little bit I am happy about this story. I think that it sends a message that, you know, the kids need to have things to do and ride bikes, but you can't do whatever you want to do in this world.
Yes, you can.
Go inside, that's trespassing. You can't do that.
Nope, you can't.
Being a nuisance and driving in front of somebody, and swerving and stuff like this. I know you're a kid and you're challenging your life because you're invincible and stuff, but eventually one of you guys are gonna get really killed.
Church.
Church.
Church, by the way, is a slang term for you are absolutely right. Church.
Yeah. So it's like, but I do know that the kids need to be kids. But you can't be a nuisance to the people, and you can't be a hazard to the people's safety and stuff. That's definitely a policing issue.
Nope. So get these sons of mothers off the street, lock them all up.
I don't think locking them up is the answer, but you know, it's rough to be a kid in the city. There's no place for the kids to go ride bicycles and stuff.
Aww.
Well, I mean, you could say, oh, and people could do that like that there, but there's really no place for them to go ride bicycles.
You know what's going to be tough for them? When they get hit by a car, and it's going to happen. You play in this dangerous game. Some kid's going to get hit, and some kid's going to get killed, or their life's going to be completely altered, whether it's they are unable to walk anymore or have brain damage. Yeah, something bad is going to happen.
And that's a shame because the kids don't understand that type. They don't want to play in that reality world like that.
Nope.
But then on the other hand, how many dog parks we have?
We have a dog park.
Yeah, it's like really, we don't have safe environments for the kids to go play and be kids on bicycles.
Shame on Worcester for that. I agree.
Yeah, and even Worcester establishments for kids give out free bicycles as prizes and stuff. But yet we don't have that, and then we have dog parks.
And you know what, Troop? I can't even argue that. You know why? Because at first I was going to say, well, maybe if they went to city council meetings and just like all those dog owners went to the city council meetings and said we want a park. Those youth and the youth parents need to go to city council and say we want a park for us.
Yeah.
They did that. Remember a couple of months ago or less than a year ago, Bill Coleman went with all the skateboarders and said that they wanted a skate park. And you know, you can ride your bike at the skate parks too, go up and down on the ramps and everything. Bill Coleman brought those youth to the city council meeting and asked for that. And I don't know if they tabled it. I don't know what's come out of it. But I do know since then we have discovered a dog park now. And still nothing for the youth.
No.
So I am 100% with you on that. But I still say the answer should not and cannot be, oh, well, they're just kids, so let them ride in the streets. They're going to get killed.
Yeah, they're going to get killed because they are kids and they're correct. And we live in a world that fantasizes about heroes.
Yep.
You know? Captain America, Iron Man, Spider-Man, who's the black one? Panther Man or something. Wonder Woman, they're cartoons. Mm-hmm. But to these kids, they're iconic heroes and stuff. Even to some adults, they all hero worship with these things. So they act stupid like that. Everybody did it. As a kid, my heroes were G.I. Joe's comic books and stuff like that. You know? That's what I thought was the coolest thing in the world. Oh.
Well, one texter says a nice ending to this story would be hit and run motorist splattered punk's brains on the pavement. Motorist is nowhere to be found. And the response to that by Mr. Arnold's friend says, Mr. Sampson, you have some very violent and testosterone-free fantasies. You sound like a shooter candidate. Our texters are out of control.
They're right on. I don't think death of a child is a good thing in any means. I don't think death of somebody driving a car. I don't even think death of pedestrians who want to walk 30 feet away from the crosswalk because they're too lazy to go down to the crosswalk and they're going that way anyway. Mm-hmm. You know, and I think that the people take advantage of all kinds of situations. Even these school buses get me on a rant now.
Yep.
I'm tired of these school buses just stopping their school buses wherever they want to, and then you're supposed to stop. They don't put the little stop sign out.
Nope.
Because they're not letting anybody out. The doors ain't open. They get all insulted and everything because you didn't stop. What? You're not supposed to be stopping there just because you feel like it.
Nope.
You know, we once we get a little bit of power, you know, we exploit it as hard as we can. But these kids, they do need a place. And I suggest that for the incoming city council people and stuff like that, take it up on your board, make it a priority, maybe you want to go and say, hey, look at here, what we need to do is all you people over here, we're going to get old trucks, buy some nice old trucks like that there, and on the weekend, every weekend, during the hot months or something like that, we're going to take the kids and their bikes out someplace where they can really ride and smash into trees and do anything they want with them and stuff like that. And you know, there's ways around it. That looks like a good thing for the kids. And then you have the kids in a place. You can counsel the kids. You can show the kids that they are loved and that they do have a voice within this city and stuff, and they do have a place within society. And they can take their bikes and turn from a street riding activist type of thing to maybe a mountain bike thing or train for the street. Remember, this city's famous hero is Major Taylor, the bicyclist. So it's like, it's kind of hard for these kids. I don't know if the kids know that, but it's still kind of hard when they're searching for heroes not to see one who's doing something that they're doing.
Yep.
You know? I mean, and it's a great place to train. It's got hills. It looks like Rome, all these hills. You can train going up and coming down. But I think you could get some old trucks.
Okay.
You know, take the kids out there to old fields and stuff like that, and then let them run free. And they're controlled. You can counsel them. You can show them love. You can inspire them to do things like that. And they'll feel like they have a place in society. This is just what I think is good. And you got enough agencies out there doing this stuff for kids. You know, their whole thing is come here and sit down and do your homework.
I agree, Troop. But until that happens, I want the police to prosecute these little mother fathers to the fullest extent of the law and stop them from stealing those bikes, too. If they're thieves and if they're carrying knives and wearing masks, stone them. They should be stoned.
I don't get the wearing masks and stuff like that. I don't know how that got out of control. It was obvious it was going to get out of control. We let it happen.
They were wearing masks last year when they were riding their four-wheelers and their dirt bikes in the streets.
Yeah, but people are wearing masks just walking down the street. They put up a hood, put on their little face mask and stuff like that. Yeah. You know, it's like we let that get totally out of control. The adults let that get out of control. They sell them in the stores. It's like they ain't making them.
Troop, so I have one more story before we go to break. This one will be kind of quick. But I think you need to call your school, Harvard. Because Harvard has a problem on their hands.
They got a problem?
Oh, yeah, they got a problem on their hands. A white University of Hartford student rubbed a used tampon on the roommate's backpack and poisoned some of her stuff. She did things like put rotten cream in her lotion, spit in her coconut oil, and rubbed tampons on her bag, and stuck a toothbrush up her rectum. Troop, you are a Harvard alumni. Why are these Harvard students doing these things?
This girl don't need to be in any student in any school whatsoever. That was a roommate and stuff.
Yep.
This was some little white girl.
Yep.
Some little white girl whose brains don't work. They're backwards. She's a vicious predator to society. This girl needs to be arrested.
She was arrested.
And she needs to be prosecuted, as you say, to the full extent of
the law, yes.
And then stoned. This person like this, these are the type of people that we make believe really don't exist. This woman exists.
Yep.
This is vile. This is nasty. This is just disgusting behavior on any front.
And this is what women do.
Yeah, that's disgusting. That's her roommate. Now, obviously, the course should have been, I need a different roommate. Mm-hmm. And the roommate should have said, I want a different roommate.
Right.
You know, it's like they're paying a huge amount of money to go to that school and stuff like, I don't know, it has nothing to do with real school policies, it doesn't have anything to do with the brain capacity of real people and stuff. This lady, she needs to be, I don't even know if there could be help given. She needs to be watched.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's just like a little kid. You see a little kid pulling the wings off of them little butterflies and them little flies.
Yep.
You watch that kid. That's not normal. What she's doing is not normal. She needs to be under observation for the rest of her life. This, in a world where we have predators that do crazy things and they can get away with just renting a truck and running over people, this kind of person like this here, in my humble opinion, watch her.
True. I agree and I disagree with your statement of this is not normal. To the extent that she went is not normal.
Yeah.
However, female roommates, usually they have shows called the Bad Girls Club of female roommates, and all they do is do disgusting things to each other's belongings. Pour bleach on their clothes, burn their stuff, do whatever, throw their food out, dump their food out, women are vindictive when they live together. Some.
I hear it. I don't know nothing about being a woman living together.
I grew up with four sisters, Truth. Trust me, I have first-hand experience. I saw what those wombats did to each other. They were evil. Women can get evil when they're living together, just like this woman. So I agree that it's not normal to go to, to some of the things this girl did.
That's disgusting.
Very disgusting. But man, women can get very contentious when they're living together.
Yeah, that's just I hear women seem to be doing nasty little things and just stuff. Even the Wellesley girls with the black face?
Oh yeah. No, Wheaton College.
Wheaton College, yeah. It's like, really?
Yep.
But this girl here, watch her.
Yep.
Watch her. She's got all the makings of a serial killer.
Well, she's not going to be able to go to any university again. She
shouldn't be able to go to Walmart.
She'll be able to go to a school like a Quincy, a local community college or something like that to get her education. But no university that knows this in her history. She's all over the news nationally now. Yeah. She's not going to be able to get. What university is going to accept her?
No university going to accept her.
Nope, it's not. So. What we'll do is we'll take a break, Troop, so you can get that. We'll be back on Truth It in the AM.
Okay, I just